Hey, everyone. It is your girl, Valerie Priester, the business coach to female life coaches, coming to you today for our Business by Design Live. Let me adjust the camera just a little bit here. And it is so good to be here. Again, I'm Valerie Priester. I work with female life coaches, helping them go from overwhelm to profits in their coaching business, eliminating all of the confusion, the frustration, the overwhelm with building and creating a profitable coaching business. So today we're here for our first Business by Design for the month of April. It's April Fool's Day. Hey. And so no April Fools here, just pure value and conversation with you about your coaching business. And so this month, I want to focus on making sure that you have the right brand, right? So many people get branding and marketing and all of those things confused, but branding and you being the brand of your business is really what you want to put forth as representing your company, right? And you are your brand, right? When you're in this service-based industry and you're producing, you're offering services mainly. I mean, you do have some products as well, like I have some products, books and things of that nature, but the main thing that I offer, my main offering is a service, right? And so when you're in this service industry, you are your brand. And that's what you have to always be aware of and know that you've got to create the brand that represents you, right? And so as we focus on branding this month, I wanted to really start with the one thing that I've noticed causes a lot of problems for a lot of not just coaches, people in business in general, right? And that is when we talk about authenticity, when we talk about being you. One of the things that I've noticed is that some people struggle with it. I've struggled with it. And in fact, sometimes I still struggle with it, right? I'm not removed from it. But we struggle with sometimes just being ourselves. We struggle with showing up as ourselves. We struggle with comparing ourselves to others. We do that a lot, right? And then what keeps us stuck is that we are not being our authentic selves as we present ourselves to the world, which is our brand for our business, right? So this month we're going to focus on that. And I wanted to, again, start with authenticity because I'm sure you've heard this said a million and two times that people buy and hire you because they know, like, and trust you, right? And in order for them to really know you, like you, and trust you, they have to be presented with the real you. And so many times we don't do that, right? We get caught up in wanting to look like someone else. And I don't know that it's really a wanting to look like someone else, but it's not being sure of how we should show up. And so we sometimes adopt the way that other people may be showing up. And sometimes it's because we like how that person is showing up, but it's really not authentically who we are, right? And so when we try to do that, we're not being authentic. So I wanted to start there. And I wanted to start there because I want to talk about the biggest enemy to authenticity, which you probably heard me say at the very beginning, but it's fear. It is fear, right? We're sometimes afraid, like I said, of showing up, being who we are. We're sometimes afraid that we're not enough, so we try to show up differently, right? We sometimes, again, compare ourselves to other people and we don't show up authentically, right? And here are some of the things that happens when we allow fear to hold us back and keep us from being authentic, right? It stops us from really examining the things that we need to examine. It stops us from taking action, right? It stops you from taking risk that could bring you greater results, right? It stops you sometimes from just being more risky or being willing to step out a little bit more on faith. It keeps us in a place where we always want to stay safe. Here's a really good example, right? So for me, mindset is a huge piece of what I work with my clients, right? And I haven't always been as open with when it comes to sharing things of mindset and how I know that that really can affect your results in your business, no matter what business you're in, right? Mindset is everything. It starts with your mindset. And years ago, there was times when I would not talk about mindset because I felt like this is a little too woo-woo for people, right? It's a little too much for me to really try to help people understand that your thoughts are creating your reality, right? I thought that was like too deep, too woo-woo. And so I wouldn't always discuss that, but that's a big part of who I am. And so once I overcame that and start realizing that in order for me to really show up in my full authenticity, that has to be a part of my conversation because that's a part of my life. That's a part of how I live. And so I teach my clients the very same thing. And so for me to show up and not ever talk about that, that means that I'm not really operating in my authenticity. Right. And so that's how that can look sometimes. It can keep you from moving forward. It can keep you when you have this fear of showing up as authentically you, right? Keeps you from making videos, keeps you from going live on, social media platforms. It keeps you from really just, again, showing up as yourself. And so what I want to give you permission to do and help you understand that is in order for people to really, really be attracted to you, and they should be attracted to the real you, the authentic you. In order for that to happen, you have to show up as the authentic you, right? You have to show up being the person that you are. So if you're someone that, is really kind of quirky and fun and exciting and you love energy and you're super energized, show up that way. Don't try to show up like the school teacher or like the professional, right? Because that's not you. If you're someone who loves to wear bright colors and big, bold things, show up that way. If you're someone that, wants to have a different hairstyle every single time that you show up that way. That's who you are, right? And people will learn to really appreciate you being who you are. They appreciate that more than you trying to put on an air and be something that you're not, right? Now, one of the things for me, like I love teaching. So I innately will go into a teaching mode, right? And teach. But I'm a funny person too. And so sometimes I may crack a joke that, you may not think is funny, but, but it's funny to me because that's who I am. I'm a fun loving person, right? I'm a very approachable person. I'm a people person. I'm very much extrovert, right? And so I have to show up that way in order for you to get to know me and know who I am. Right? And so the whole key is don't allow fear of being who you authentically are keep you from showing up that way. Because if you do, then your audience, your potential clients, they never get to know, like, and trust you. Right? And here's the worst thing is for you to show up one way on social media and show up one way, in your videos or on your website or, all of that. And then when people meet you in person, you're totally different. Has that ever happened to you? It's happened to me several times. It's like I see someone, online, I'm following them online and I have this one impression of them or, opinion of them. And I'm thinking that they're this way. And then when I meet them, they're totally different. That's what you don't want. Right? You want to be your authentic self. You want to always operate as your authentic self. That will help you to attract the people that are meant for you to serve them. The people that are, I like to say, ordained for you to serve them because they are attracted to you. Right? So I think you get the point. I think you get the picture. I just want to start there because I know, again, it's so very important. And when we don't show up as our authentic selves, then we start to feel like a fraud. We start to feel like I'm not really being real. And we fall into, the comparing ourselves to other people, which is the deadliest sin of you being able to be authentic, right? Because it has nothing to do with anyone else. It only has to do with you. So if you gain nothing else from this today, understand and know that you have the right and you have the obligation to show up as you, no matter what that looks like. Quirky, funny, right? Cursing, whatever that may be, right? There's some people that, have huge brands that, every other word is a curse word, right? They curse like a sailor, but that's who they are. And so they're going to attract the people that are attracted to that, no matter what. And when they step out and they show up as themselves, then the people that are supposed to be there, the people that they're supposed to help, those are the ones that show up. Those are the ones that say, hey, I need you to be my coach, right? So don't be afraid to step into your authenticity and show up as you. You are the best you, right? No one else can be better than you at being you. So show up as you and be authentic in everything that you do as it relates to your brand and your business and really in life when you think about it, right? So make sure that you're showing up as you. Now, as always, if you need help, really getting clear on like, how does this authenticity thing work out with my brand? Where should I and how should I be showing up authentically as me? Like sometimes you don't even realize, what really is you or how you should really show up so that it presents you in your full authenticity, right? If you need help with that, schedule your private 2.5 hour VIP strategy session with me and let's dig into it. Let's really get to the root of who you are and how you can use that to best show up and create a brand that speaks to you and your authenticity, which will attract the people that you really want to work with, right? Let's hash that out and do it. We can work on that, and in 2.5 hours you can have a clear plan and a clear strategy on how to show up authentically. Okay. So that is our Business by Design for today. Thank you so much for joining me. And remember, share this video, like this video, and I think subscribe, like there's a bell and all that. I'm still getting used to YouTube, but I know you guys know to subscribe and share and comment. By all means, comment. If there's a question that you have, leave me a comment, right? If there's something that you want me to talk about during Business by Design, leave me a comment. I'll be happy to talk about any subject that you want to talk about. But remember, this month we're going to cover all things brand, your brand, like how to create a wow factor brand for your business, right? Because remember, in your coaching business, you are the brand. Okay, so that is our Business by Design for the week, and I'll leave the comment below or the link below or in the notes so that you can schedule your private 2.5 hour VIP strategy session with me, so that we can really create a brand for you that represents your authenticity. All right. So we'll see you next week, next Thursday, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, for another episode of Business by Design. Remember, designing your victory is a choice. Start today creating the life and the business that you desire. We'll see you next week. Bye now.